Hey guys, welcome to another episode of AB and the Films. This is part 2 of my top 20 favorite films. Now, before we start with number 15 going down, I should mention something that I said in last night's episode. At the end of part 1, I mentioned you've just heard films 20 through 15. My mistake. You heard films 20 through 16. Now, in part 2, get ready to hear films 15 through 11. Yeah, I got that right. And here we go. Stand By Me. Now, this is a movie I have seen ever since I was, I'd say maybe 3 years old. And my dad, he was a huge fan of this movie. He still is to this day. But he would let me watch it whenever it was on TV. You know, he would never rent it from Blockbuster or, you know, own the movie or anything. But I own the movie now. Obviously, I'm old enough to watch it, obviously. The uncut version, I should say, because there's a lot of cursing in it. But I think the reason why I love this movie so much is not only is this a huge part of my childhood, because I saw this movie so many times when I was a kid, and as I got older, my dad let me watch the whole movie without it being on television, you know, so it was uncensored. And I got to hear the language, and I was told, you know, you can't say all this language, but you can watch it anyway. This movie is, again, it's a coming-of-age story, and a lot of people these days don't go for coming-of-age stories. This is a movie where you can relate, I think, to nearly all 4 of these characters. And, again, this is, I think, this is my opinion only, I think this is Rob Reiner's greatest film to date. I think this is the best one he's ever made. Out of every picture he's made, this is, like, the best one he's done. But again, that's just my opinion, I'm saying. I love, again, everyone's going to agree with me on this, and I'm not just saying this because he passed away. River Phoenix, this role defines who River Phoenix was, or is, I don't know if I should say it in present tense, as an actor. And I don't know why he wasn't nominated for this movie. His performance in this movie is unbelievable as Chris Chambers with Will Wheaton, Corey Feldman, and Jerry O'Connell. Yes, everyone, that is Jerry O'Connell, the Jerry O'Connell. I know, it took me a while to really put 2 and 2 together because it doesn't really look like him, but yeah, that's him. But this is just a great movie. It's a great coming-of-age story. It's basically, if you guys don't know what the movie's about, let me tell you here. These 4 boys go on a journey to find the body of this dead kid so they can bring it back and they can be famous or something like that. But in order to find him, they have to follow the train tracks. And the scenes with them with the train tracks, the best scene for me, and I will not ruin it for anyone who has not seen it, but if you have seen it, you know what this is. The scene when they're on the trestle. I'm not going to say any more, but you know exactly what I'm talking about if you have seen this. But this is a really good movie. Do not let Will Wheaton keep you from seeing this movie, okay? Yeah, he's not that good of an actor. He's good here, but he's not, you know, Star Trek, I mean, come on. I don't want to even get started on that. But still, this really is a great movie, and it definitely deserves this spot. So, yeah, it's just a really good movie. Imagine John Lennon. Now, this is a documentary that came out 8 years after Lennon died. So, yeah, like, you're expecting something really big here, like a posthumous release or something like that, or posthumous release, I don't know how you pronounce it, but I've been watching this movie even before I was a Beatles fan. So, I've been watching this movie for about 10 years now. And, this is basically what the movie is in a nutshell. It's a lot of never-before-seen clips and footage of John Lennon with Yoko Ono. Some of it is actually taped from when he was a Beatle, but most of this is, you know, during his solo career in the 1970s. But most of this is footage, most of this movie has footage that we've never seen before, and there are scenes in this movie that, like, you look at this movie and you're surprised, like they got that on film, like, you were surprised about that. Lennon had people film him a lot. He had a lot of films stacked around the house of him. There's footage of him recording the album Imagined at Escott. I think that's what it was. Escott, England. I could be wrong. I think that's what it was. The big mansion that he had in the early 70s. But what I love about this movie is it tells you the story of John Lennon. And yes, 75% of this movie is the Beatles, obviously. Like who's not expecting that? But still, aside from all the Beatles stuff, now I know the Beatles story. I am a Beatles encyclopedia. I know everything there is to know about the Beatles. What I would like to get interested into this movie is his solo career. You know, because there's a lot of stuff going on there. Like first of all, he gave up music in the mid-70s to take care of Sean, his son, and his guitar was kind of on the wall. He didn't take it down in 5 years. You know, all these little things they talk about in the movie, and I gotta say, the last 15 minutes of this movie has got to be the most saddest thing I have ever seen in my life from any movie I have seen. But other than that, I think this is a brilliant documentary. It's unforgettable. I love this movie, and I'm hoping that someone, like they do this with all four Beatles. I know Martin Scorsese did a documentary on George Harrison just a few months ago on HBO, and I hope they do one on McCartney and Ringo Starr. So I hope that they do one. But still, Imagine John Lennon is really a great movie. It's a documentary. Do not let that turn you off. You will be so into this movie by the first 2 minutes. You will. It's a really good movie. No Footing. Now, if you went to Summerstage with me, you know this movie. If you didn't, you most likely do not know or have never heard of this movie. Or maybe you do. I don't know. But this is, I think, one of the best films I've seen in 2009, and it's a really good movie for a lot of reasons. Well, first of all, let me just point this out. I'm not big on independent films. I'm not really crazy about them. I really don't care about them. There's a handful of them that I do like. This is definitely one of them. But anyway, I like it for a few reasons. Number one, brilliant actors in this movie. Seriously. I love movies where the actors are unknown, because it gets you involved in the story a million more times than if you had, like, famous celebrities in a movie. Like, first of all, I'll give you a perfect example. When I saw Inglourious Basterds for the first time, when Brad Pitt came on, I wasn't involved in his character. I'm like, oh, look, there's Brad Pitt. Or when you watch 2.5 Men, you're like, oh, there's Charlie Sheen. It gets you sucked out of the story, you know what I mean? But in this movie, because the actors are unknown, like, you believe, like, and not just because they're unknown actors, not a lot of people know who these actors are, they're not that bad at acting. They're really good actors, seriously. And the other reason I like this movie a lot, and the reason why it's on the top 20, is because it has one of these, I can't really explain it, but it has one of these issues that everyone goes through. But I've never seen a movie talk about it before. Or maybe it's been done before, I don't know, but I've never seen a movie talk about it before. The fact that you have a plan, and then when you go to pursue that plan or that dream or whatever you had in mind for a long time, when it comes at you, you're not sure what you want. You're not sure if this is the right move. Like, should I do this? Or maybe I want to do something else with my life. And it has those elements there. Now, of course, this sounds like, I don't know. I mean, like, to you guys, this might sound like a cliche, but to me, I've never heard of something like this before, especially done in this way. Now, let me give you guys the story of this, because I'm pretty sure most of you guys have never heard of this movie. Jensen Booger, she plays Madison, and she wants to be an artist. Now, I could be a little bit wrong on this movie, considering I haven't seen it in nearly over a year and a half, okay? Jensen Booger, she's the actress. She plays this girl, Madison. She just graduates from college, and she wants to be an artist. Well, when she goes in for a job opportunity, she doesn't really know what kind of artist she wants to be. So she ends up going back to the job that she's been working at for a long time, and she's just doing, she's just collecting all this stuff. Like, she doesn't know what she wants to do, and she had a plan, she had a goal, she wanted to pursue that, but now she can't. And she's stuck in a way. And I think everyone has gone through that. I haven't gone through that yet, but I'm pretty sure I might. I don't know. I've actually questioned whether or not I want to do film or not. I don't know. But I honestly think No Footing is one of my favorite movies. Now, here's the deal. Sadly, this is not on DVD. It is not on the internet, so you guys can't watch this movie. I really recommend you see this movie. If you guys want to see the trailer, you guys can see the trailers for this movie. You just go to YouTube.com. Well, you're on YouTube, obviously. After this video is over, okay, just go up there and type in No Footing trailer Mixed Nuts Productions, something like that. Or you can just go to mixednutsproductions.com/no footing. I think that's what it is. I don't know. But anyway, No Footing is really, like, it deserves this spot in this list. 12 Angry Men. Now, talk about a movie that takes place in one setting and not getting bored at all. Sidney Lumet, I gotta say, even though this was his first film, I love almost every movie this guy has made. God bless him, but I'm really, really upset that he's gone. He made such wonderful movies, such as 12 Angry Men, Dog Day Afternoon. Again, that was another movie that took place in one setting. The Verdict with Paul Newman. I mean, the guy, he just makes brilliant movies. And this was his first film from 1957, 12 Angry Men. What's it about? We obviously know the story. 12 jurors are in a courtroom trying to decide whether or not this boy who's been convicted of killing his father is guilty or not guilty. And of course, Henry Fonda has a reasonable doubt that he could be innocent, but all the 11 jurors don't believe him, and they all want to get out of that courtroom as fast as possible, because they all have, you know, stuff to do, and they really don't care. They're just judging him because, you know, he grew up in the slums, he's from a poor family, and, you know, basically they just assume that he did it. Well, the way the evidence is portrayed over and over and over again, now, this might not work out for you guys, but to me, it took me right back to Tarantino's movies. Okay, I know that sounds, but let me just explain here for a minute. Have you guys ever seen the movie Reservoir Dogs? It was Tarantino's first film. In the movie, they show you these scenes in the film, but then something happens, and then he replays scenes from the movie, and then it looks like a completely different film. The evidence in 12 Angry Men is the same thing. You see the evidence, but then over time they repeat the evidence with not what we now know, with the new facts, and then it turns the tables, and they're not twisting the facts to make the kid innocent. This is really happening, and they go through extreme lengths to try to put the evidence together because Henry Fonda believes that this kid is innocent. Well, he said that he doesn't think he's not guilty. He's just not sure. But this is really a good movie. I remember seeing this in the 8th grade, and I remember not wanting to see it, but I saw a lot of actors in this movie that I was surprised that I knew a lot of them. E.G. Marshall's in this movie. Henry Fonda, of course. Morton Balsam. I forget the guy's name. The guy from Psycho. He was the detective from Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. But 12 Angry Men is a really good movie. It takes place in one sitting. It's a black and white movie. Do not keep you from seeing this movie just because it's in black and white. It's a good movie. I will say there are a few scenes where it can be a little bit racist, but it was the 50s. It was a different time zone. But other than that, it's a really good movie. Brilliant acting in this movie. Especially the last 20 minutes of this movie are brilliantly directed. I just love every shot in this movie. Yeah, 12 Angry Men, it definitely deserves the number 12 spot. Deep Blue Sea. I saw this movie when I was about, I'd say maybe 9 years old. And I saw this movie after I saw Jaws. Now, here's the deal. If you haven't heard of this movie, let me basically sum this film up for you in a nutshell. If you want to see Alien combined with Jaws, combined with the Poseidon Adventure, you definitely want to check this film out. This is a really good movie. This is a really, really good movie. Now, I know it came out, this movie came out in 1999. Yeah, it was 1999. A lot of people say that shark movies these days suck. That may be true. I saw Shark Night 3D when it came out. I thought it was one of the worst shark movies I've ever seen in my life. I do not like the Shark Attack movies. Jaws is good. I do not like the sequels of Jaws. But Deep Blue Sea is good. Deep Blue Sea is a good shark movie. It's a good shark flick. It's not better than Jaws, but it's just as good.